Good Saturday morning to you. I hope the weekend will treat you well and that the previous week was good. Having a little fun this morning. I'm going to do another mock draft for the upcoming NFL draft for your Minnesota Vikings. And going into this draft, again, it's my guess that the Vikings will re sign Byron Murphy Jr. Going into free agency, he is definitely going to be one of the most coveted cornerbacks on the market. And they're going to end up having to throw the truck at him. But he's worth re-signing. He's been in Flo's system now for this will be 2 years in Flo's system. We've got Blackman coming back off of his injury last year in training camp, so hopefully he's healthy and can run the season. In addition, in free agency, it's always necessary to go through to make sure that the signings are understood. Mekhi Becton or Trey Smith, one of the two. I prefer Mekhi Becton just because I would like to have a giant, well, not just a house, but kind of like a condominium blocking in front of J.J. McCarthy. And to put with Brian O'Neill and Christian Darrisaw, that really helps solidify the inside, along with who I think the Vikings really do need to sign. The top free agent center on the market, Drew Dahlman. As I said in mock draft video number 1, I am sick and tired of watching Garrett Bradbury get trucked into the backfield 2 or 3 times per game, leading to a quarterback pressure or sack. I'm sick of it. That's just literally 1 or 2 examples throughout. And I'm sick of seeing it. And I would like to have a young 26-year-old center who we can get a good 4 or 5 years out of to be the centerpiece, pun intended, the centerpiece of an offensive line designed to protect and block for a battery. I'm not talking about just one player with J.J. McCarthy, but a battery. The long-term vision of this team needs a running back. To that end, we go into the NFL draft. I use Pro Football Network because, one, it's free. I don't feel like I should have to pay PFF anything for a free, what amounts to a game. And this is the least ad-free one and still utilizes some semblance of scouting information. So let's enter. As things kick off, let's just tick this up here so we can all see what's going on. Running back go early. As we approach, a lot of good players still on the board. What do we got? No. I am not willing to do this one. That's too far down. I like the idea of getting a second round pick in for next year, but that's also too far down. We have 3 seventh round picks going into the 2026 draft. Although that is down, I'm going to accept this because what we're looking at is the depth. We want to be able to get into that second and third round area also. And the player I'm targeting, if he doesn't go, all right, what do we got for offers? Not a chance and not a chance. Reject both them. My need, I have been telling you about a battery. A battery consists of a center, a quarterback, and a running back. The Minnesota Vikings need a 3-down running back, an explosive running back. Minnesota Vikings select Caleb Johnson, running back, Iowa State. Now our goal is to create that battery. That's why in my free agency, I went out and I spent top dollar for Dahlman and Becton. I am going to remake that offensive line. I'm going to remake it, and I'm going to make sure that it is solid as possible. We are back on the board with our 69th pick, which we traded to move down. What are our offers? 69 for 76 and 190. So we're going to hide this, and we're going to see what's on the board. I like Jack Sawyer. Too small for the defensive line that I'm looking for. And we're starting to get into some of the depth that I was thinking about down here. Shamar Turner. Very good player. Omar Lott. If he's still there, we're at 69. Our next pick is at 97, I'm sorry. We're going to accept this Dallas offer. And move down 7 more picks. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Both of our players are still here. We're just going to reject that. We can still get TJ Sanders, who, in my opinion, is a little undersized. Shamar Turner, he's excellent. He got that good first step. But I like 315 pounds. We are going to draft Omar Norman Lott, defensive tackle, Tennessee. So we've only got 2 picks, but what we've done is we have solidified our battery. We now have a running back who long-term is going to be here behind a center who's going to be here. And they're all young. Oh, Zaya Alexander just went. That was who I was targeting as our corner. Damn. Okay, that one's painful. We're going to hide that. That one's painful. I really like Zaya Alexander coming out of LSU. I was hoping he'd drop. That's a kick in the teeth. So, that brings us to, let's check out and see where we're at with the corner. Our next pick is at 140. We got a big gap coming up, so at that point it becomes BPA, baby. Best player available. So we roll through. I also like a couple of wide receivers here. No. 140, we should be able to get Nick Nash. So what we're going to do here is we are going best player available, and you can never go wrong with an edge rusher. So we will take Ashton Gillott, edge, Louisville. Again, BPA at that point, best player available. Caleb Johnson, Omar Lott, Ashton Gillott. We're definitely spending some draft capital in the trenches. Definitely spending some draft capital into the trenches. As you should. Like if Garrett Wilson keeps falling here, we're gonna make a move. If Jared Wilson is there, we're taking him. We're going to reject it. It's a good offer, but we're going to reject it because that is too good to pass up. Jared Wilson, center, Georgia. Yes, we just signed Drew Dahlman to a very rich free agent contract. But you cannot invest enough in the trenches. If we learned anything from the Philadelphia Eagles this year and the Kansas City Chiefs, is that you cannot expend enough capital on your trenches. We're on the board at 161, I apologize. And we've got a trade offer. Let's see who's on the board. I like Miles Frazier. Huh. Would I make this move? There's a couple players here I like. A couple players here I like. Reject. I'm getting my wide receiver. I'm going to get my wide receiver. Because there's another little thing that I would do also that I haven't talked about. I heard it speculated on Mackey and Judd in Purple Daily. And I think it's something that should really be considered by the Vikings, and we'll talk about it here right when we get our final pick. And here we go. Final pick is up on the board. And our choices. Here's what we've picked so far. We've got our center, who's going to be guard flexible. Edge, defensive tackle. We got our running back, Nick Nash, who you guys would like. He's a really outstanding wide receiver out of UCLA. You really are going to like him. San Jose State, I'm sorry. Excellent wide receiver. He's going to be a great slot guy. So here, too short. I don't take a 5'8" corner. If you're as tall as me, you shouldn't play corner in the NFL. At this one, let's just say BPA, best player available that fits a position. Ooh, hoo. Oh. Tonka Hemingway. BPA, baby. BPA. So. And there we go. These are the picks that I've made. 6 picks. Would also maintain our draft picks for next year. We get Caleb Johnson, Omar Norman Lott, Ashton Gelate, Jared Wilson, Nick Nash, Mitchell Evans. Got our trench guys. Got a good wide receiver and a tight end who could probably fix it because Muse is gone. Muse went, I think it was to the Jets, and then ended up with the Eagles, got himself a ring. So we don't have a tight end 3. Might as well bring one in. Caleb Johnson's going to be a stud running back. He's going to be a stud. He's going to be our RB1. Big defensive lineman, takes up that nose tackle position. edge player. Guard center, Jared Wilson. Nick Nash is coming in because I'm trading Addison. I'm trading him. That's just me. I'm trading him for probably a second round pick this year and maybe one for the next year. And I didn't include that on here because it's pointless. I trade him. I think he's a time bomb. He's the ego wide receiver that Justin Jefferson isn't. And as good as he is, and he is a 1B on a team with Justin Jefferson, he can go be a 1A somewhere as long as he doesn't get a DUI. So at that point, we would need wide receiver depth. Jalen Naylor, he's a good wide receiver 3. Are we going to go out and get Cooper Kupp? Well, we got to find out how he's available. I'm for getting Cooper Kupp. He'd be a great wide receiver 2 in this offense. But at that point, you're going to need wide receiver depth. And I think Nick Nash is a good 5th-round pick kind of thing out of San Jose State. Good tall kid, great hands, can play slot, can play interchangeably on the edge. A good, solid receiver. He's just not gonna run away from the fastest DBs. But we don't need him to. We already got a couple of guys who can do that. And Mitchell Evans, this would be a very unpopular opinion, but I'm not a huge TJ Hawkinson guy. I want him around this year because I want that safety nookie blankie for J.J. McCarthy, but I just don't see a long-term future for him. I really don't. I do not think he is as good as people say he is. I don't see it. I just don't see it. I think he's above average. I think he's replaceable. I really do. Because I'm a big fan of Josh Oliver. He was a pass-catching tight end coming out of college. He's just evolved into an outstanding blocking tight end. I'd prefer to spend the money there than on TJ. I just don't. I'm just not a TJ guy. Sorry, folks. And he would probably at least get you a 3rd-round pick also. So that's just my thoughts. That's mock draft 2. Same free agent signings. I think the next exercise when it comes to mock draft will be missing out on the top free agents and having to adjust the draft to meet that requirement. Be an interesting thought exercise. But other than that, I hope you have a great weekend. Enjoy your Saturday. It's going to be almost 40 degrees here in the frozen state of Minnesota after a week of damn near 40 below wind chill. It's going to feel tropical, and I'm looking forward to it. And I'm grateful for it. As grateful as I am for you guys swinging in and watching this. I really do appreciate it. If you liked it, hit the like, subscribe, share it with a friend. If you didn't like it, tell me to piss off and I don't know how to draft. You have a great day.